surprise me, and I think the WNBA this year, the ratings are going to be great, and the better she is, the higher that league is going to climb.
Yeah.
Pick reportedly set to sign an 8-year sneaker deal with Nike worth $28 million. That includes her very own signature shoe.
What happens when the greatest college scorer of all time meets a league full of seasoned pros? Caitlin Clark's WNBA journey is more than just numbers on a stat sheet. It's a masterclass in adaptation, and we're about to show you why her struggles might be the key to her future dominance. Let's take a moment to discuss numbers. Caitlin Clark was the embodiment of college greatness. During her last season, she per game averaged 31.6 points, 8.9 assists, and 7.1 rebounds. You can't call those good stats. Those are video game numbers. However, her first game in the WNBA, observing the player was like witnessing a whole new game. I have 2 points to make here. That was Clark's best performance in her professional debut. The difference is so striking that it has everyone talking. We were expecting a score machine. Where is it? Here in the WNBA, where college girls find their soulmates, I say welcome. The WNBA is a completely different animal, you know. It's not even close to being a different level. The league is full of seasoned pros who have witnessed it all. For years, these ladies have fought against the strongest competitors. No matter how many points she scored in college, they are not going to give a rookie the royal treatment. There were 139 players on the WNBA rosters on the first day, and 95 of them were All-Americans in college. First team All-Americans made up nearly half of the group. Currently, Clark faces competition like that. Imagine being a giant fish in a small pond, suddenly finding herself swimming among sharks. That's how it felt. As for these former WNBA players, they're brilliant as well as gifted. Clark's game has been scrutinized. They are familiar with her habits, preferred techniques, and go-to photos. With that information in hand, they are trying to silence her. Just think about Diana Taurasi. In her pre-debut message to Clark, Taurasi said, "Reality is coming." A seasoned player warning a newcomer to be ready wasn't trash talking. Indeed, Taurasi was correct. Clark was physically attacked by defenders in her initial games. They are trying all in their can to distract her, including shoving and bumping her. It's the exact same thing that Michael Jordan went through during his first year in the NBA. Everybody wants a chance to show they can beat you when you're that good. However, things become intriguing at this point. Is this difficulty? That doesn't mean Clark can't be successful in the WNBA. In fact, it is an essential component of her maturation. Consider, if you're never put to the test, how can you possibly improve? Clark is constantly learning from her setbacks. There is a lesson in every missed shot. You can adapt with every turnover. Even though her opponents are taller and stronger, she is still learning how to get past them. She's getting better at deciphering tougher defenses. To combat the physical play, she is learning new techniques.
Logo threes, it's her signature. That is the most Caitlin Clark way to win a game.
At the level you feel like all the praise, like that's the same level you'll feel all the hate. So I try to stay right in the middle.
Rookies in the WNBA often go through this time of transition. It was a challenge even for the league's all-time greats. Just like when you're beginning to ride a bike, you're going to have several falls before you get the hang of it. Now listen up, Clark isn't your average rookie. She has a unique quality and innate charisma that makes her stand out. Her attitude is equally as important as her abilities. She gets more competitive with every obstacle she encounters. She uses every setback as an opportunity to prove herself again and again via her hard work. For that reason, Clark's difficult beginning may perhaps be for the best. It's pushing her to grow as a player and improve upon her college performance. She isn't merely adjusting to the WNBA, she is gearing up to rule it. Okay, so enough with the stats. Let's discuss Caitlin Clark's game in context. She may not be averaging 30 points per game like she did while in college, but it doesn't imply she isn't making an impact. Aside from making baskets, Clark has far-reaching effects on the court. How can a player who is having trouble scoring still be a game changer? You may be asking. You see, that's the part where Clark's magic really shines. The fact that she can make plays as well as score is what has the WNBA vets on edge. Let's dissect it. The court vision of Clark is really phenomenal. She has a knack for seeing passes that other players just can't fathom. Here we are discussing no-look dimes that skillfully navigate past dense defenses.
To be able to be here and like make so many of my dreams come true with so many amazing people that have supported me, whether it's my coaches, my teammates, my family.
She seems to be watching everything from behind her head. Even without fancy passes, it's not all about that. Clark possesses an extraordinary talent for opening doors for her teammates. She is a walking, talking defense magnet who finds open shooters and sets them up with pinpoint passes. In this game of basketball chess, Clark is perpetually 3 moves ahead of the game. Keep on reading, because passing is only one of Clark's game. She has incredible game reading skills. Looking for openings in the defense, she never stops surveying the court. In the blink of an eye, she goes from dribbling at the top of the key to crashing through her defender's defenses. The box score may not show all of this. No way is Clark averaging 20 assists each game. However, if you observe carefully, you will notice that she is facilitating her teammates' easy baskets. She's either creating space for teammates or setting up teammates for assists with her passes. Next, we will discuss Clark's maneuvers. A magician would be green with envy at the arsenal of tricks she possesses. Clark is a master of fakes, twists, and dribbles with hesitation. While she may not always score with these maneuvers, she certainly keeps defenders on their toes. That is really significant in the WNBA, where each edge is crucial. Is there a very memorable play?
Thought we played a really good fourth quarter and came up when stops when we needed it. It's huge. I think it sets the tone of where we want to be the rest of the season.
With this vicious spin move, Clark completely outmaneuvered her opponent. Though she failed to score, she drew the attention of 3 defenders and set up an easy layup for a teammate who was in a wide open spot. Plays like those alter the course of a game, even though they don't appear in the statistics. You may be asking, okay, but why isn't she dominating if she's so good? Let me get this straight. Clark is basically setting himself up for future success. She isn't merely adjusting to life in the WNBA. She is manipulating the league to suit her purposes. Put it in your mind. When Clark's shots don't fall, she's still finding ways to make an impact on the game. Once she discovers her scoring touch, her rising skills will render her unstoppable. She's like a hoops player. Once her arsenal is full, she'll be unstoppable. Also, Clark's competitive fire must not be overlooked. Every obstacle she encounters serves as motivation for her growth. She's not merely agreeing to face the challenge, she's actively seeking it out. That's the way a potential superstar thinks. She will take these beatings and this attention, and she will learn from it, and she will improve. So said a basketball analyst who summed it all up well. That should serve as a warning to the other teams in the league, not only a prediction. Indeed, Clark's figures may not be very eye-catching at the moment. That being said, be not deceived. Her influence extends beyond what is immediately apparent in the stats. The foundations of her greatness are her playmaking, court vision, and basketball intelligence. We should discuss the Caitlin Clark impact. Across the entire WNBA, this rookie is creating a tidal wave of excitement, and not only on the field. Nothing like this has happened in the league in, forever. I know what you're thinking. What makes Clark unique? Off the court, she's causing quite a commotion, and it's not limited to her game. Here we are talking about media and fan interest that has never been seen before. Clark has gone from being a mere footballer to a complete sensation. Think back to the days when purchasing WNBA game tickets was a breeze. Those times have passed. Clark is attracting such massive crowds that teams are relocating games to bigger grounds. It's as if every game she participates in becomes an instant sensation. Also shirts, set it aside. People were buying Clark's jersey at a rate that was faster than you could say buckets.
Clark's time on the court, they're trying to stay stuck with Hawkeye merchandise, and they say her popularity is not diminishing anytime soon.
Surprised me, and I think the WNBA this year, the ratings are going to be great, and the better she is, the higher that league is going to climb.
Yeah.
The fans are treating them like rare collectibles and buying them up in droves, which, come on, they could be one day. Things get trickier from here on out. Is Clark's talent truly the focus here? Others have wondered, is something else happening instead? Let's talk about the most obvious thing. Being white, Clark plays in a league where black players make up the majority, and now people are arguing about whether her appeal is due in part to her marketability. A WNBA legend named Sue Bird said it plainly. According to her, even though we're female athletes playing at a high level, our worlds are just totally different. Even in women's sports, Bird argues, racial bias can influence how the public views the athletes. The WNBA is attempting to navigate this delicate situation. Is Clark's fame due entirely to her abilities, or is her reputation involved? The league must have this discussion. There is no simple solution. Regardless matter the source of Clark's fame, she is utilizing it to advance the WNBA, and that is the most important thing. The rapid evolution of the league is being accelerated by her presence. The greatest way to describe the rate of growth is exponential, according to Lynx coach Cheryl Reeve. No longer will the tried and true methods do. A league that is all of a sudden in the limelight is showing its growing pains because to Clark's popularity. As an example, consider broadcasting. Many women's basketball fans are eager to see Clark play, but the league is having trouble keeping up with the demand. Some newcomers are discovering that their games aren't even getting a live broadcast. The league needs to improve its performance to stay up with the Clark effect, and this is a wake-up call for them. This goes beyond just television coverage. The WNBA has had problems for a long time, and Clark's presence is just making them worse. From player salary to travel circumstances, we're covering it all. These issues are suddenly capturing the attention of the public. One bright spot though, this increased scrutiny has the potential to improve playing conditions for all WNBA players. The league is under pressure to up its game due to Clark's popularity. If there are more fans, there will be more money, which might mean better facilities and salaries for everyone. Also, Clark's endorsement arrangements should be remembered. She has her very own line of branded shoes made by Nike as part of a huge $28 million deal.
The biggest known deal for a women's basketball player.
Clark has been part of the Nike family before. She had a deal while playing as an Iowa Hawkeye,
making her just the 4th WNBA player ever with this kind of deal. It's also the biggest known deal for a women's basketball player.
Pick reportedly set to sign an 8-year sneaker deal with Nike worth $28 million. That includes her very own signature shoe.
Regarding WNBA rookies, that is unprecedented. Off-court earnings for female athletes are now being measured against this new benchmark. Yeah, Clark is definitely making the league more visible. On the other hand, she is bringing opportunities. Not only is she paving the way for herself, but all WNBA players stand to gain from her moves.
And Clark is reportedly set to sign with Nike. Now, according to the Wall Street Journal, that deal is worth $28 million over 8 years.
Men, women, black, white, whatever. It was like, wow, there's something special about her and what she does and, raising the game.
Put it in your mind. More spectators equals more money in the box office. When more jerseys are sold, the revenue from merchandising goes up. Opportunities for sponsorship increase as media coverage grows. All WNBA boats may be lifted by this rising tide.
In Eastern Iowa, Clark Fever jerseys are available both in the Cedar Rapids and Davenport Dick's Sporting Goods locations.
Caitlin Clark had the highest selling jersey on draft night of any athlete in any sport in the company's history. Now, it's not like Fanatics has been doing this forever, but
this time through, we didn't have nearly enough in stock for just the regular jersey t-shirts and whatnot, and then it's just been nonstop orders.
However, not everything is peachy. Attempts by the WNBA to cash in on the Clark effect have been met with some growing pains. In addition to having to meet the challenge of growing fan demand, they are also dealing with broadcast challenges and scheduling conflicts.